welcome to another BlackJack Day video and moving forward your journey to being a better BlackJack player and AP player. I am BlackJack Dave. I love to play Blackjack, talking about Blackjack and sharing the correct way to play Blackjack with others.
Well, thanks for watching another one of my deep dive videos. We are still in our journey at the 101 level, video 6, and today we're going to talk about deep dive hitting and standing. But before we get into deeper topics, we're going to review the rules of hitting and standing. Then we'll look into more advanced topics regarding basic strategy, as just for example, we'll explore the logic for hitting and standing on hard hands. Then we'll look at the logic for hitting and standing on soft hands. Then we'll look at a little bit of the math between hitting and standing to give you the logic of why basic strategy is the way to go. And then we'll finish the video off with playing a few rounds of blackjack to test our basic strategy. The most frequent playing decisions you will have to make is whether to hit or stand when you're playing blackjack. Hitting means to ask for another card. Standing means you are satisfied with your hand and you do not want any more cards. You can stand or hit on any hand that totals 21 or less, but generally stand at hard 17. That's a general basic strategy rule. You must signal the dealer to indicate if you want to hit or stand. If the process of taking a hit, if your hand exceeds a total of 21, you bust it and you lose your bet. That's a real bummer. And once you signal to the dealer that you want to stand, that completes your hand for that round. Few facts about hard hands. The worst hands you will get at blackjack are a hard 12 through 17. It gets worse. The reason is that no matter what the dealer's up card happens to be, you stand to lose more hands than you'll win in the long run. In other words, virtually all these hands are overall losers for blackjack players. Here's one more gruesome statistic. You're going to be dealt one of these losers about 4 out of every 10 hands. That's right. 40% of the time, you're going to get a 12 through 17, whether you like it or not. If you can't change the cards that you're dealt, the best you can do is follow the basic playing strategy for hard and soft hands. You'll still take your lumps, but you'll lose less money in the long run when you follow the basic strategy than if you depend upon divine intervention, or worse, play by the seat of your pants. There is some good news here. We won't go into detail about it here, but there are deviations from basic strategy that you will learn in this series that will help with 12 through 17 hard hands. But enough of that later. I've been doing your basic strategy studies. The next 3 slides will come at no surprise. But what they do provide is a logic behind why the basic strategy card instructs you to play that way. So let's first talk about the terrible 12 through 16. Here we go. The most common mistake made by novice blackjack players is to always stand on their stiff hands because they're afraid of bust. Stiff means a hand that can be busted by one card draw. For example, a hard 12 through 16. However, this is a big mistake when the dealer's up card is a 2 through 6. We know that a 2 through 6 is generally a cards that dealer can bust on with an asterisk. Since you know the dealer must hit stiff hands by the rule of games, you should not risk busting your stiff hand when the dealer up card is 2 through 6, because he may end up with a stiff hand. Instead, stand, let the dealer draw, and hope he busts. Now, without changing slides, If you've been following basic strategy and know it pretty well by now, you're saying, but Dave, what about the exception to the 2 to 6 rule? There is one exception to this rule. That's when you're dealt a 12 and the dealer's up card is a 2 or 3. That's because the dealer is not as weak with a 2 or 3 up card as her bust frequency is lower, 35 and 37% respectively, compared to when her up card is 4, 5, or 6, 40, 43, and 42. Consequently, the percentages are slightly better for hitting a hard 12 against a dealer's 2 and 3 up card rather than standing. But we knew that, but now there's some logic behind why the basic strategy card tells you to do this. Now, when the dealer shows a 7 through ace up card, there's a strong likelihood he will end up with a pat hand, 17 through 21. Therefore, when you hold hard, 16 or less and surrendering, pair splitting or doubling is not an option. The percentages are better if you hit your hand, even at the risk of busting, till you achieve at least that magical hard 17. So hopefully these 3 slides now give you some reasoning behind what the basic strategy card tells you to do.
I understand this. Let's look at the math from one hand. So you'll understand why the basic strategy says to hit some hands instead of others. Suppose you're down to 12 against a dealer's 2. Basic strategy tells you to hit. But why? If you stand, you'll win 35.2% of the hands and lose 648%. I think that should be 64% on average, excluding ties. If you hit, you will win 37.4% of the hands and lose 62.2% on average, excluding ties. Using the strategy of hitting or standing, you're still a net loser, but you lose less by hitting. So you would rather lose 29 per 100 by standing or 25 per 100 by hitting? Hope you now see why basic strategy states to hit 12 against a dealer's 2. Another strategy I hear a lot from blackjack players, I will play like the dealer. It's not a good idea. What do I mean by play like the dealer? Well, if you play blackjack for any of the time, you'll come across a player who will use strategy to mimic the dealer, meaning they always hit on 16 or less, always stand on 17 or more, and never split or double down. This is not a good idea. Mentioned in previous videos, this is a terrible strategy because it will result in roughly a 5% edge against you. That is about 10 times greater than the house edge using basic strategy. So the gangster might say, forget about it. All right, let's finish with all this strategy and logic and math. Let's have a little fun. Let's play some blackjack hands and test our basic strategy. Now I'm going to make 3 mistakes. Not going to tell you when I make the 3 mistakes. We're going to see if you catch them at the end. I'm going to play between 15 and 20 rounds. We'll see how it goes. All right, here we go at our blackjack table. We're going to play some rounds of blackjack to test our basic strategy, as well as our general skills of how to play blackjack. We'll double down and split. And what else is there? Double down, split, stand, and stay. So let's again. I'm gonna try to make only 3 mistakes. We'll see if I'll edit this video at the end and see if I make more than 3. But my object is to make 3 mistakes on purpose at about 20 rounds. Let's go. Got 15, 8, and 15 against the dealer 6. We should be liking this. 15, what are we going to do? Stay. 8, instead of hit, we're going to hit. So that's 14. What are you going to do? Stay, yes. And 15, of course, if we stayed here, we're going to stay here. And let's see, 16. Too many. Everybody wins. So I'm going to go ahead and pay everybody. We'll see how we do. It's going to do flat betting. All right. Notice I'm going to put them in the discard tray. All right. It's always going to be a one chip bet. There we go. Round 2. Round 2. 7, 13, 17 against the dealer's 10. I'm going to hit here. 7, 17, stay. 13 against the queen. I'm going to stay. And 17, I'm going to stay. 20, everybody loses. All right. Round 3. Round 3. 12. 5 or 15 and a 20 against the 6. 12 against the 6. Let's hit. Too many. He busts. Ace 4 against the 6. What are you going to do? I'm pretty sure that's a double. We'll check in editing. Uh, and 20, we're going to stay. 10, not looking good. 12, that looks a little better. 15, looking real good. Too many. So that's a win for us. Dealer bus. Double one. Pretty good. All right. I think we're on round 4. Good luck, ace. 12. Double aces. 13 against the 10. 12 against the king. Against the king. We're going to stay. We're going to split those aces. How many cards you get when you split aces? Generally just one. 13 against the king. We're going to hit. Too many. 19. Everybody's a loser. I'll push here. Move that chip over to there. All right. 17, 12, 13 against a 7. Stay. Gonna hit. 21. Gonna hit. 16. Gonna hit. 21. 17. Push, win-win. So good hands dealt there. All right. We're doing good with basic strategy. 20, another 20 against a 6. Man, this is happening. They made 6 of the dealers are getting. 2 against a 6. I said it's a double. 13, 20, 20. Not 15, 21. Oh, that was going to be a table win for everybody. 12, 15, 11. 12 against a 7. It's a hit. Oh, there we go. Oh, that away. 12 against a 7. It's a hit. 15, hit. Too many. 15 against a 7. It's hit. Too many. 11. It's a double. One card. 19. Could be a winner. 18. He wins. All right, two more hands. 14, 12, 10 against another Steelers 6. It's craziness. 14, hit. 21, 12 against a 6. Hit. That's 15, 15 against a 6. Is that 16? Let's see, 7, 8, yeah, 16 against a 6. Too many. 10 against a 6. Well, hope you all know that's a double. 20. 10. 20. That's a shame. All right, last one. 13, 15, 20. 13 against the 9. Hit. Too many. 15 against the 9. Hit. That's 16 against the 9. Out of cards. That will stay. Stay. 19. All right. Well, that ends our blackjack basic skills drill. Hope you enjoy this video. And subscribe, please. And thanks for watching.